Welcome back to the show. Now, property investing is all about the numbers and trying to interpret them, and so we've got Charles Tarbey from Century 21 direct in our studio. Charles, what's happening?
Yes, wonderful again, that lovely balanced feel of auctions over the clearance rates. It's been really good because we were talking about this boom market kicking in, and we felt that that's not the case. So last week was 76.2, this week's 74.2, so it's just slightly down, but that's no big deal. Sydney was the best performer at 77.6, Melbourne at 76.6, and Canberra and Adelaide were in the 60s, so they're still having a good run. Adelaide particularly has had a good run, but this time last year 61%, so we're still up on the same period. But once we get into, as we talked about, April or May, we'll see how it starts to balance out with apples from last year.
Because the market, I mean, we're now in March, the market's pretty much full steam now, isn't it?
There's a lot of activity out there in the marketplace still. People are hesitating a little in some respect because RP data figures came out and said there was a bit of a lull, and you know, I don't really see that as much other than adjusting of figures over the Christmas period in January, so we'll see what happens.
So homes advertised for sale?
They're up again now 6 weeks in a row, so we're at plus 1.79% over last week, which was a plus 2.18%, so climbing. New Zealand is a negative amount of stock on the market from this time last year, but there's a plus 12.7% increase over this time last week of new property. So there is an influx of property coming right across the Australasian region.
So basically, don't panic, don't think that you've got to pay too much at auction.
Yeah, I'm suggesting to people now, make offers again, get back into making offers because properties are coming on at a much higher price.
Sounds good. And the rents?
Yeah, 10.99% in Sydney. Again, it's a flat line. It's been doing this for a while. 7.4% in Melbourne, 18.81% in WA. And it's giving us an average of 3.35%. I'm sorry, 12.4%. I gave you a vacancy rate, saying 12.4%. So it's balanced. If you look at the chart, you can just see it. It's just flatlining. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
And then very quickly, just the vacancy as well.
Yes, the vacancy rates. 2.35 Sydney, 3.53 Melbourne, and Perth, 4.18, giving us a total of 3.35, Chris.
Wonderful stuff. And thoughts for the next few weeks?
Yeah, I just think that people just need to keep getting out looking, but making sure that they are prepared to negotiate. Some areas are still going to be hard to buy in because of the shortage, but across the broader market, there's more stock, so have a good look around before you start rushing in.
Wonderful. Charles Tarbey, Joan Wilkinson, thanks for joining us on the show. Your very first show. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining us at home. I hope you'll tune in next week. Until then, I'm Chris Gray. Good night.
The information featured in this program is general in nature and therefore should not be relied upon. Guests appearing on the program may have commercial arrangements with some of the companies mentioned. Before making any investment, insurance or financial planning decisions, you should consult a licensed professional who can advise whether your decision is appropriate for you.